All right, guys, this is Gamer Nerd, and we are back with another Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play mystery shard only run video. Today we're going to be doing a bunch of rare stuff. Yeah, we're going to be using rares and seeing what rares can do what and where, and how you can beat things without ever using anything but rares. That's not true. You're definitely going to need some other heroes besides rares, but yeah, you can get pretty far in this game by only using rares. So we're going to start in some dungeons and kind of go in here. Now remember, this account is, we're pushing 2 years almost here at this point. So we do have a lot of heroes and they are level 60 and they are, maxed out. They have all their skills, they have their blessings, all that stuff. So just know that that is something to take into consideration. However, yeah, you can beat almost all this stuff. We'll start easy and we'll go into Minotaur because a lot of people start the game. You want to know how to beat Minotaur. Well, I mean, honestly, the starting five team is basically your win here. You can do it with pretty much almost any of them. Eventually, you'll be able to do it with one or two heroes by themselves if you really want to. I personally take all my heroes in here. And I'll bring one hero that I'm going to be leveling up. So, I should have just kept her in here. So let's just say we bring in War Priest, all right, because we're working on her masteries right now. We'll put this. Oop, we don't want to do that. We'll put Kale in the lead just so we have HP, just in case. If you have attack, that works too. But you can pretty much use any group of heroes. You want a damage dealer. You want a defense down hero. So you can use War Priest. I mean War Maiden. You can use Pigman here, Fleshmonger. There's a couple different heroes you can use. We have an attack up hero who's really good, and then you're probably going to want a healer. At this point, obviously, Apothecary is your man if you really have no one else, or Tolog can work as well. So you can use Tolog if you have him. Honestly, even War Priest can work in here if you're strong enough. So it's not even like it's that big of a deal. We can bring Valerie in here. We'll do it with Valerie just because. We'll start just because you can see that Valerie's easy. Everyone can get her. You don't have to worry about a summon or a pull for Apothecary or anyone else. Pig Boy is, I mean, we could bring in War Maiden if we wanted to here, just because, like I said, you can use her. But either way, I just want to show you that there are other heroes you can use here. And essentially, you just bring in the one hero that you want to get masteries for it. If you just started, obviously you'd be leveling up all of their masteries and you could just put this on auto. If you really want to farm them, I didn't farm my first few heroes. I literally just said screw it and I bought them with the gems that you get in the beginning of the game. So Kale was my first hero maxed. We were able to get him to 60 and masteries done very quickly, and that helped us get through this a lot quicker. So I would highly recommend doing that, but that's up to you. That's kind of a sore subject for some people. They don't think you should spend gems on that, but I definitely think you should, and I think it's definitely a good idea for Kale right in the beginning of the game. It's going to give you an insane advantage at beating things early on that you would not be able to beat because you're going to have every single mastery on Kale, and he's going to be great for clan boss. He's going to be great for dungeons, dragon, finishing quests, like all that stuff in the early game. So you don't have to worry. You can basically, honestly, do a lot of the stuff by yourself with just Kale. He can one shot brutal by himself. So you don't even have to worry about that if you just started the game. So definitely build your Kale is what I'm saying. But as you can see, they're doing just fine. And my team's a little bit stronger, so even if yours is a little weaker, you may want to consider bringing in, a better healer or something like that. That's fine, but as you can see, they're not taking too much damage here. As long as you can survive the hits, you're going to win that fight because it's basically the easiest fight in the game. And there you go. My War Priest gets her little scrolls. She only got 4 that time because that was the last one we needed for the first tier. And there you go. You just keep running this, and eventually you have one new hero with all their masteries maxed. And I do this for every new hero. I just go in and I'll just do that. And some of them I'll buy with gems. Some of them I just farm them out like this. And there you go. Nice and easy. All it takes is leveling your heroes and just getting there. If you just started, obviously you're going to farm whatever level is the earliest level. Once again, I didn't farm these things in the beginning. I literally just bought them with anytime I had gems, 800 gems, I would just buy it for the next hero. So we would do Spirit Host, War Priest, Apothecary, I think I did early on, but that's because I pulled him. You could do Valerie, that's fine, and Kale. Get them done, and then once they're done, you can farm all day and not have to worry about it. So it'll get you to the point where you can farm a lot quicker. That's why I recommend using gems for that in the beginning. But hey, like I said, if you want to farm them and you have time and energy, go ahead. All right, next ones. We've got Ice Golem Peak. Now, we are into hard mode, as you can see. Normal. Now, in here, I would say up to stage 20, it gets to actually in here I would say up to stage 16 it gets a little dicey. But for the early game, yeah, I mean 16 is probably around when you're going to start seeing some issues. 15 may be hard if you're struggling with force affinity, but there's not too much in here that you need to worry about outside of keeping yourself, we'll use Tolog as a defense hero. We'll put him in the lead for defense. Now, in this situation, you could conceivably use the poisoners to kill him faster. I would probably say in the beginning of this game, I would probably say do heroes that can do things that will help your team. Like Petrifia does a lot of defense down and other things like that. You can bring Armiger in here to try to kill the ads if you have an Armiger that's leveled up, like to have the ads be block revived. But essentially, you just want to stay alive. All right, so we're going to start this out. You want to stay alive, and that's the hardest part in this fight because if the ads are both up, then the boss is essentially going to one-shot a lot of your team members, so it can be tough. Now, Petrify is good for this fight because she has the attack down, she has poisons, she has the what is that? The increased poison, whatever that was called. I can't think of it right now. But she'll make Kale do more damage with his poisons, and she also does attack down, which is very very useful. Say right there, attack down, which is going to help you in not getting killed. You've got Apothecary in the lead because he has defense, and then you have Kale as your main nuker, and then we have Tolog in here specifically because he's a healer. He can revive. He can do defense up. He can heal like with the overtime, heal overtime, and yeah, really good hero Tolog. If you don't have a healer, I highly recommend trying to seek him out if you've been pulling them shards. See, you got defense up, we've got attack up, all those things, and hopefully you can get Armiger to take one of these ads down early on. If you're trying to do an auto fight for a quest, then obviously you got to kind of just hope for the best, but he's going to drop turn meter on the boss. He's going to drop turn meter on the ads. You're going to see the damage outputs a lot in here. Someone like bringing in someone like, I would honestly even say Spirit Host is probably a better option because she can remove all of these debuffs, which are kind of irritating and annoying. Hopefully we get a defense up. See, that's the big hit. That's going to hurt when we actually come in. Luckily the ads were killed. So he did the laid to rest. It's very awkward, Mr. Armiger. You got to get real lucky that he's going to actually do his laid to rest when he's supposed to. See, that would have been perfect time for it, but unfortunately he didn't have it active. If we're lucky, maybe this guy will start getting killed. Now the problem here is if they start, see, he's got one of the ads up, so we're going to take more damage. Hopefully your heroes will start to actually fight the ads rather than the boss. If you're having trouble with this and you're not doing a quest, then there's nothing wrong with just doing it manually and waiting for the what's his face for the ad to get really low on HP, and then go in with the laid to rest like he just did there, and then have the ads be killed. But as you can see, they're doing reasonably well. I mean, I would have said, like I said, Spirit Host would probably be a good option here if you don't bring Armiger, just because she can remove the heal reduction, which is annoying and lasts a long time. See, that could kill your hero. Luckily, we have Tolog who can do revives, which is why I said he's so awesome. See, boom, there you go. Speed him up and then back into the fray. And luckily, if you're putting your Kale in lifesteal like you're supposed to, and you're building him like we did in the starting 5 video or in his tutorial video, his champion spotlight, then you know that he can heal himself back up. And these ads dying is very important. See? Boom. All those poisons and everything. Look at Petrify. She basically rivals Kale in damage because of all those poisons. Really good hero. I love her. She's actually way better than a lot of people would say. But yeah, Armiger didn't do much in that fight, obviously, because he didn't block revive. If you can get him to block revive, then this fight is way smoother and you don't have to worry about ads. So even without a rare, you can use uncommons too. So there you go. All right, let's get out of here. Now that's just like I said, we're going to do a little bit lower end just so you can kind of see up until a point. Once you start getting into the 16 to 18 realm, sometimes, I mean, there's going to be fights where you can win with rares, but it's just a lot longer and it takes a lot more time and dedication. So this is mainly for people who are just kind of figuring out the game and learning. So if you've been playing the game for a while, obviously these are not the best strategies. So stage 16, we'll stay in 16 for now. It's a void area. Now this fight specifically, you can pretty much just use the main heroes. You can bring in her. So basically the dragon will poison your team. He'll stun them. He's got a shield that needs to come down quickly. So having attack is really helpful. This team works really well for this fight. Pretty much this team works well for almost all these fights, but you can use these guys the whole time. And then if you need an extra, it really just depends on what you need for the fight. So if your team is dying, then I would probably say Valerie. All right, because she can keep your team alive and healing and shielding and make you a little bit stronger. If you just need DPS, then bring a DPS. So what I would probably do in this scenario is bring somebody who can do things that are good. Like I think Candle Guard does weakens. All right, that's a good thing. You've got Coffin Smasher. He does, what is that, attack down. So these are all things that are pretty useful. We'll try Coffin Smasher just because she's better for the waves, and I wouldn't recommend using Coffin Smasher, but this is just to show you guys, that you can use heroes that are a little bit, one off. And if any of these guys end up dying, it's not the end of the world. But like I said, we've made our heroes pretty strong at this point. If they can get through the waves, then the boss is pretty much easy. Look at that Tomb Fire. He's also got HP burn, which is kind of nice. He also has a 3-hitter, which does a lot of damage, and we put him in, what is that? Giant Slayer, so he can do extra damage with that attack, which is nice. All right, they're all dead. Now let's see if we can survive this boss. Like I said, stage 16, all rares. Let's see how Coffin Smasher handles. See, he does that 3-hitter, attack down, which is going to make your guys last a little bit longer. You have to understand that a lot of bosses, sometimes just putting attack down on a boss, there you go, HP burn, just putting attack down on a boss can be super helpful. And I also have him in the set that lets him get a chance of an extra turn. As you just saw, he did 3 turns on that. So he's almost guaranteed to put that attack down every single time. And there goes the shield. See, he's just going to keep putting attack down on the boss so that we don't get slammed by that wing attack, which is about to come now. See, and then there you go. Spirit Host comes in and removes all that garbage that just came up. So you can use, I think, what is her name? I don't know if she removes it or blocks it. You've got Marked. She does that also. But see, he actually did reasonable amount of damage. Not bad. See, so you can use any one of these heroes for these fights, and it'll still work. There's your dragon. I just hiccuped at the same time of saying that. All right. Fire Knight. Fire Knight, I've shown this numerous times, but we're going to do it anyway. Actually, we can show this. Actually, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do 16. We'll try it on 16. Yes, we don't want this. Sorry, that's my no-turn team. That's what you're looking at right now. All right, so now for this fight, you're going to want some defense. It's a little important. Now, what I would say is the best option if you have heroes and you've been working on your clan team. These guys are essentially the dream team for this fight. All right, you can easily wipe this boss out without him ever even trying. So we're going to do it. We're going to try it with this team real quick just to see how I know it works on 15. I assume 16 is about the same. Basically, you have a group of heroes that can poison and kill this entire wave of heroes. As long as these guys don't get their uh-oh, we got a problem here. He might be the unkillable. All right. I didn't realize it was unkillable in this round. If I'd known that, I would have thought a little harder. So I wouldn't recommend using this as a farm fight. Just because if he gets unkillable, your guys are going to be attacking forever. So maybe just farm 15. Now, the reason this team works, once again, is because they have poisons galore, all right? You have speed up with Apothecary, and everybody has a lot of attacks that hit multiple times and can take his shield down quickly. Now, the whole thing with this fight is that we want heroes that will poison the crap out of the boss so we don't need heal reduction, all right? Because we're basically just going to keep poisoning the crap out of the boss, doing defense down, and we're going to get this boss killed in like 3 seconds. Now, the first round, you should expect to just take a hit, all right? Because now we're going to start getting the shield down again. Look at that, 3 hits, 1 hit. If Apothecary gets his 3-hitter off, you're great. Now, this is where you're going to start seeing the debuffs pile up. Hopefully, see, boom, look at all that. And then basically you just poison him to death. We're not worried so much about healing in this fight. What you could do is take one of them out and put a healer in here if Apothecary is not strong enough for you, or a shielder, anything like that. But look, they're just piling up the poisons. And defense down. Look at that. All that damage just wrecks the boss. Now, obviously, this team isn't going to last forever. All right, they're not going to be able to maintain. So if your attack isn't high enough and you're not doing enough damage with this strategy, then I would probably recommend not doing it. But yeah, this one takes a little bit. But either way, poisons can wreck this boss, especially when you have a really good team like Grave Chill and what's her face. Look at that. All the poisons just killed her. All the damages. Look at this. They just all poison the crap out of that boss. I love it. It's my favorite thing to watch. Now, this fight can be done with a couple of other different options. We have used anyone with 3 hitters can be done in Fire Knight. We'll go into stage 15 just for right now. Let's take out the poison monsters. As you just saw before, we can bring in Anointed. He is an option that we can use here. Defense down is always a good thing if you have it. Fleshmonger is great for this fight because his main attack hits 3 times, so that'll take the shield down quicker. And then if you're having trouble with staying alive, you can use Tolog, you can use anyone. But we're gonna, we'll just for funsies, we have enough 3 hitters here, I think, where the shield is going to be a problem. We're going to bring in a Veer just for fun because he's actually a really good hero, and he's got his speed up. He's got his turn meter boost. He's got his attack down, which is nice if you're actually having the boss attack you. What I found for this fight is the best option is basically a turn meter drop, and you can just stop the boss from attacking at all. And it's the easiest way. It may not be the shortest way to beat the boss, but it's definitely the easiest way. So you can use heroes like Soul Bomb, you can use heroes like Armorger. Who else has turn meter drop? There's a bunch of them actually. There's a couple of uncommons that have it. Definitely a wide array of heroes that can do turn meter drop. I believe that Cold Heart has turn meter drop. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure she does. I don't really use her, so unfortunately, that's just unfortunately how it is. And boom, we're back in the boss. So now let's see if we can get these hitters off. See, he's got 1, 2, 3 on his A1. Hopefully Anointed does the same thing. He did not. He just sped up the fight. The first round may end up being a wipe. Oh, we actually got it. Look at that. He got defense down. And hopefully we can get some poisons in here. Now, this is going to be a slower tactic. We're going to be basing it on healing. All right, we do have some poisons in here, and as long as Kale can get his poisons off with the boss, see, look at that. 1, 2, 3. Shield is down already. And we have plenty of turn meter left on the boss for us to start throwing debuffs on this guy, getting some poisons. See, Avir is good for this because he has the poisons. Pig Boy has the defense down, and Kale is basically your monster nuker. And Anointed is really just there to keep the shield down. That's it. There's no other purpose for Anointed. I mean, he does have the speed up, which is nice. Say, look at that. 1, 2, 3. He just comes in here and smacks stuff. More poisons. And then boom. Hopefully that's enough to kill the boss with the poisons. That should be more than enough. No, we actually didn't even need it. Look at that. So yeah, this is kind of like just to kind of give you guys an idea that these fights are able to be won. All right. You just need obviously time, and you need to build your heroes one at a time. This took me over 2 years to get to this point. So it's not like this happened overnight. Anointed literally was just built yesterday. Not yesterday, but like a couple weeks ago. So yeah, don't think that this is something that's going to happen overnight. I understand that these are higher level heroes, but this is how I beat things, all right? Because this is a mystery shard only run and only heroes that everyone can use. So every hero I have is a hero that all of you guys will get eventually. Okay, so that's Fire Knight. Let's see what else we can do. Now the potion keeps and stuff we don't really need to do. I mean, I guess we could show one maybe if we finish this in 2. I actually haven't fought this in forever. Did I really use this team? This is the last team we used to fight this, I guess. We're gonna try it. We'll bring Conqueror in. Why not? Let's see if he can do stuff. We have a revival, so it doesn't really matter. This is stage 20, right? Let's see. It's been a while since I've done a potion keep. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done one in a very long time. Actually, funny enough, I haven't done a potion keep since we did the videos for him. So you can go look at that. I think those were about a year ago. Conqueror is probably going to die, but we have Tolog in here now who can do revive. So if someone dies, see, they do a lot of damage in these fights. So the block revive is always useful on a lot of things. We'll see if we can survive all this. I'm wondering why I brought Conqueror in here. I think I put him in here just so that you could see that it works and see that you can have heroes. There's nothing here to remove. Oh, he's dead again. See, he's just going to keep dying. And honestly, this is the problem I have with Conqueror is that he dies too quickly. He's very weak as far as like power goes. Let's see if they're smart enough to actually attack the right heroes. Spirit Host is probably one of my favorites. I love the dude. He's amazing. Maybe we'll get a speed down here. All right, so everyone's dead except for Mr. Boy there. All right. Oh, that's right. Conqueror can actually remove buffs. So if he actually stays alive. This is not a recommended team, by the way, because I wouldn't bring Conquer in here. I was just curious for my own amusement as to why I brought him in here, but we're gonna find out, I guess. Maybe there was a reason. Is there a block damage hero? No, there is not. So I thought there might be a block damage hero in here, and that's why, because then he can remove it. All right, so he's actually back up and running. Too bad he gets killed in one hit. See, this is the problem, is that what I would do in this situation is I would take out Conqueror and put a defense down hero like Pig Boy or War Maiden, because obviously you can do a lot more damage with defense down. Because right now we're basically using Kale as a main team, as a main damage dealer, which is, it's good. Like, he's fine for it, but if my other hero keeps dying, then I guess it doesn't really matter if he's in the fight or not. Funny enough, I could basically restart this fight with a different team and win this way easier. But this is the kind of team I would use if I was, say, struggling with staying alive. All right. And even then, I would not bring Conqueror. I'd bring Valerie if that was the case, because then the fight's going to take longer, as you can see. Like, it's going to be a longer fight, but they'll at least they'll make it through. That's the whole thing. He is totally dead again. They love killing Conqueror. It's like their favorite pastime. Look at that, one hit. But this is the problem, is that once you get into the stage 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 kind of area, the waves become your problem. The bosses are honestly very rarely the issue, except for like maybe the magic keep where the shield keeps popping up, or the spirit keep one where she keeps healing. Things like that can cause you to fail, or just to not be able to win. I mean, a lot of the times you're going to find that you're actually going to be fine with winning if you could actually do enough damage, and that comes over time. You'll get the damage from your heroes. Hopefully he can revive Conqueror now before we get to the boss. I still am wondering why I brought him in here. Like, I don't know if I had a reason, or if I just did it for funsies like I am right now. I was like, you know what? Why not? We have the block revive, which isn't necessary here. Now, really, we just got to get the ads killed. Once the ads are dead, this is basically an easy fight. And we've got our attack up. Spirit Host is always good, but look at all that removed. Purge. He's got the poison. Yeah, Conqueror is not the one you want to use in this fight. As long as I can kill these ads as quickly as possible, it'll be fine. Ah, we removed the buff. That actually worked out well then. He removed the buff from the boss, right? So maybe that's why we brought him. Now, the ads are going to keep taking away our buffs, which is bad. Hopefully we can kill one. There we go. One's dead. All right. Conqueror's back up. We got our healing going. We got no debuffs, which is always good. Once it's just the boss, it'll be fine, because then we keep all our debuffs. I mean, all of our buffs. And if the boss puts up any like defense up or anything like that, we won't have to worry about it. Cut down to size. So maybe Conqueror actually will survive the fight. There we go. We're down to the boss. So now we're basically going to be poisoning this guy. Look at that, poisons. I forgot I have him in a poison set, which is funny enough. So now he has extra damage in his kit. So we're going to have a bunch of poisons, and there shouldn't be any issue at this point. So really it was just getting to the boss, which was terrible. So that defense down with like a War Maiden, obviously I would choose that. This is just stupid, but like, yeah, don't bring Conqueror in this fight. He spent, they might as well call him a floor knight, because he spent most of his time on the floor. He survived the fight, right? And that's all that matters. And this is stage 20. So if you're having trouble in the potion keeps, really the potion keeps and the Minotaur are the ones where you should really practice and hone your skills, because these are what would be considered the easiest fights in the game. All right. And eventually you won't even need to do these potion keeps. I actually stopped doing potion keeps before I finished all the potion keeps. We actually beat them just to make videos on them. Like, I beat all stage 20s and I ran each one. So you can check that out. I think it's in dungeon guides in the playlists. And we literally ran the last like 16 to 20 just because we could, like, just because we had time, and we're like, let's make some videos about it. Purge, and we blocked revived on him. Look at that. That was like the insult to injury. Like, oh, you just got killed by Conqueror. Funny enough, he put up 447,000 damage being dead the whole time. That's actually not terrible. Good for Conqueror. I love him. So there you go. You're able to beat Potion Keeps with rares all the way up to stage 20. It's totally fine. Now, I think we did Iron Twins on a different stage. I honestly just farmed stage 3 when I first started. I farmed it every day. I used my keys, and that was it. We bought keys right now because I'm trying to beat these stages right now. I actually beat Spirit Keep all the way to 15. So we're going to try and do it. Its force is a little bit stronger. It's actually in the video we just did this week, so you can check that out. But basically, I would say I just farm stage 3, and I just use a regular team. Like, that's it. Like, I think we need one hero who could. If you have a hero who can put speed down, it's highly useful. I don't know who I actually. I don't know who I brought in that does speed down. Mostly it's other heroes. Like, you could bring in. Everyone gets what's her face, um, her. So she's an option. But I don't even know if you need it, to be honest. I don't know if it's really even necessary early on. I'm trying to think who I have that does speed down. I don't even use rares anymore for speed downs, so that's why it's like a little wonky. You know what we'll do? Just for this fight, because I don't want anyone to die, is what is the problem here. I want people to stay alive. So maybe defense up. We'll bring in Bogwalker just for fun because he's cool. So now this is red, all right? This is a red version. So they're going to be strong against blue. Let's see how this works. But if you just need a team to beat them and get through it, I would probably say the poisons and stuff is your best bet. We've got defense up from Bogwalker. This guy's not going to do too much damage early on at stage 3. I mean, you can pretty much use anyone you want as long as you can tank the hits that come out. Because look at that damage, it's crazy. Bogwalker's really strong though right now. So, but I brought him because of the defense up. And because he's tanky, he doesn't die. A lot of tanky heroes are really good for this fight. Because if they die, let's see how the damage. Look at the difference between Bogwalker and my other heroes. You know what I mean? And that damage gets way harder. He also has attack down, which is very useful for this fight because then you don't take as much damage. And you have defense down with Pig Boy, but there you go. He's dead. Now, like I said, you can kind of do a lot of things in this. That's stage 3. This team will probably work up to 5. Once you get into 8, you're going to need speed down, definitely. But for the early stages, you can pretty much rock these and just get your coins every day and then call it a day. If you did what I just did, you're going to get 360, right? 360 coins-ish every single day, 7 days. That gives you 2 summons a week. Plus, you may get one from the extras from the quests and all that stuff, and from events, anything like that. If you're doing Hydra, which if you're having trouble here, you're probably not doing Hydra. But if you are doing Hydra, you're going to get summons from there. You're going to get more than enough blessings to kind of start working on your heroes. All right, but yeah, rares can go through this too. I mean, I can put together a team probably that'll run up to, if I had to guess, probably somewhere between 8 and 10 and actually survive. I don't know if it would be 100%, but it would survive. All right, so we were able to do that. We were able to do that. Dragon, we did Fire Knight, we did Ice Golem. Spider's a little bit different. This is a weird fight. I think I want to stage 15. We've done this fight numerous times on this channel, and I always seem to bring it back. So this is Spider 15, right? So now this is a team that we used to beat Spider 15. I don't remember how this works. Let's try it. We'll do a super raid too, just for funsies. So the reason that this team works, all right, is because I'm glad I saved this for a while. We've got Zephyr Sniper as your tank. You've got Armiger to help do turn meter seed. If the boss never gets an attack, then we don't have to worry about it. Soulbond does a turn meter drop as well. The goal here is to really just never let the boss take a turn and not care about the baby spiders. Right? We don't care about the baby spiders at all because they're just going to keep attacking Zephyr, and everyone else is going to damage the boss. See, no one's going to care. We have an AoE with her. See, she's going to kill the babies once in a while with her AoE. But essentially, they're just going to keep the turn meter dropping as much as possible. Everyone in here is Spirit Affinity, so it's the perfect team to make sure your accuracy is going to work and you're going to get those turn meter drops. He's going to heal back up to max, and now we have the chance to just kill the boss. Don't think that that's bad. That happens every single time, by the way. Maybe once in a while he doesn't do it, but so now this team does enough damage. Look at that. We got turn meter drop, which is nice. This team does enough damage where they can kill the boss. You only have to do a ton of damage for 2 rounds. Now, here's where the problem comes in. If you have something like this, where she's getting targeted, all right, she needs to get her attack off so she can heal herself back up. Otherwise, she may die. All right, she got her turn. Hopefully, she doesn't A. Okay, there you go. She didn't get her HP back. Oh, it's going to be one of those fights, isn't it? Let's see if we can still do it. Because these guys are strong enough. Soulbon has really strong attacks. It really just depends on what happens. Now, that's the only downside is that my Soulbon has low HP, and I did change her gear. It's been a while since we did this. That's why we're going to just watch and see. But Zephyr's going to keep getting her HP back. She has extremely low HP, but she has insanely high defense. All right. Now, we just need to do enough damage and keep the boss at bay for 2 rounds, basically. Long enough to be able to do damage. So if he can get his turn meter drop, that would be nice. There we go. Like I said, if we can get them down like halfway, that's fine because she'll gain back a little bit and we'll still be able to do it. The main thing here is that this boss does speed down. I mean, does a sleep, which is bad. All right, we don't want anyone going to sleep because then what happens is they don't get a turn. Everybody in here has some kind of a regen or life steal. Oh, we actually did decrease turn meter. So now he didn't heal yet. So now we have, see, we did all that damage. So now we have a whole nother, rotation of damage that we can do. As long as everyone hits their turn meter drops, we should be fine, even without Soulbon. I feel like this is still a win. It is a longer fight, though. Remember, these fights do take a little bit of time because the boss is going to continually heal back up. The baby spiders are constantly going, so it does take a little bit of time. So don't think that this is going to be like the easiest thing ever. This fight really hurt me and took the longest time out of me. Look at that flowing sword, decreased turn meter. She's going to heal back up eventually. And I don't think this fight is infinite. I think you have to keep moving because I think eventually the boss does get stronger, if I remember correctly, from the baby spiders. And Crimson Slayer has a speed as a sleep, which is nice for the little babies too. So now he's going to heal back up. Hopefully we can get some of these babies killed, but I have a feeling they're not. All right, we got a few dead. There we go. Perfect time for that to happen. See, he only healed a little bit, and now we can continue, and we have 2 more rounds now. Yeah, Armorger's going to do crazy damage like that. I would probably take Laid to Rest off, if I'm being completely honest, but a lot's changed here. I think what we did was we put, what's her name? Haikatoon in the lead here. Everyone gets Haikatoon in the first month. So Haikatoon as a lead is great because it speeds up the whole team. Everyone gets tons of attacks, and she has turn meter drop for everything. So, even the baby spiders, which is nice. But as you can see, Zephyr is a great tank for this fight. Even with Soulbon out of the way, this team is kind of rocking it right now. I have upgraded my Spirit Host since we actually beat this fight, so that's also a big help. She just doesn't die. She will if she's the only one here, obviously, because there's nothing you can do about that. Getting attacked by 11 enemies at once, there's not much you can do. See, but look at that. It's working, even though it's a long fight. I'm like, it's working. Oh, he did his little later rest. And yes, he's going to do less damage here because, unfortunately, his damage is based on HP. And this boss has very low HP comparatively to the higher end. See, as long as you're hitting those turn meter drops, you'll be fine. And Flowing Sword is on a very long cooldown for what's her face, for Crimson Slayer. So just be aware. Hopefully we get a turn. Okay, that was perfect. Maybe she can get her attack off before he gets his. I'm hoping she has the big hit. She does not. She has Flowing Sword, which is just as good. Perfect timing for that. Yeah, any turn meter drop you have for the baby spiders would be good. It'll definitely speed the fight up, I'll tell you that much. Now, see, as you can see, with Soulbon in this fight, it's conceivable that this boss will never get a turn, but he's going to heal up again now. There you go. See? And then we start over. So basically, you're going to get him halfway down. He's going to come up a quarter. Halfway down, a quarter, and then eventually he's dead. So we may see one more heal. If we get lucky on a turn meter crush, I think we'll be fine. I actually thought we were going to be dead. This is one of those long fights, so You can speed ahead if you want to see how it ends. It's okay. I'm going to let it run. See, there goes your flowing sword. That would have been nice to get right off the bat. Crimson is really strong, though. She's a very good hero, especially for the early game. She's got a lot of really useful skills. She's got sleep, which can be used in the Dust Devil if you need it. Muckstalker is usually a better option for the sleep, but if you want an extra sleeper, you've got that. She's got turn meter drop. She's got an AoE heal reduction. Yeah, really good skill set for early game trying to beat stuff, especially for like Spirit Keep, things like that. Please use a turn meter. I hope Flowing Sword. Nope, she didn't have Flowing Sword. I was hoping that Flowing Sword was ready. So now we still have one round left, so hopefully this is it. We should be able to kill him in this round. Well, not round, but in this. Well, in her turn, in the turn of the boss, we should be able to. Uh-oh. This is where things can get wonky, is if she gets hurt to the point where she's going to be lower HP than my guy. That's exactly what happened to Soulbond. Because she can't take those hits. If she can get her AoE off, we're going to be fine. Because then she'll survive. We need the AoE. Don't kill her. All right, that's good. Come on, do AoE. Oh, she did Flowing Sword, which decreased turn meter. She might die, but we're still going to win. Lay to rest, block revive. So, like I said, a little bit weird. I would probably bring someone else in who can do speed up. If you have a healer, that would be good. A healer is definitely going to help this team, but they won, you know? If Soulbond didn't get her HP dropped like that, we would have been fine, and that fight would have been way quicker. So, yeah, my best time on this was 2:30. So, and I think that's with High Katoon, if I remember correctly. We just brought High Katoon into the lead, and she speeds up the whole team, and this process goes way faster, and you're constantly getting turn meter drop, so that boss almost never, actually probably never gets a turn. So yeah, High Katoon is good if you want to use an epic, but we want to do this with rares and less. So there you go. Those are all your dungeons here. Sand Devil, we don't farm. We got up to stage 13, but if you want an early game stage, you know, if you want to start farm stage 3 for a little bit, really you can just, oops, I pulled the wrong heroes. There we go. I actually should have kept him in there. I literally just did this. I just threw a bunch of poisoners in. That was it. Oh, what did I do? Where's Kale? Where's Kale? Where did Kale go? Did I pay? Oh, there he is. Kale, and then Muckstalker for some sleeps. All right, you can bring. We'll bring her. I think we just did this. I may have used. I think I used Grave Chill, to be honest, like this. All right, and you can just poison your way to death, and he'll die in 3 seconds anyway. You don't have to worry about damage. I mean, about pretty much anything here, any of his mechanics. It's all just let's just kill him in like one round. I think we kill him in like 30 seconds. I might have been farming stage 5. Or is this one? That's just 30 seconds. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. This fight is whatever. That's enough to at least start getting you some potions, and you can farm this if you really want to, or if you need to finish the quests every day because you're actually doing that to ascend. I actually don't do those quests anymore through this way. I get all my potions from the Cursed City, and I don't really use them, so I just let them pile up, and eventually if I get a quest that says ascend a piece of gear, well, boom, we ascend a piece of gear. And that's it. I don't have to do this anymore. Same thing with Shogun. Shogun's kind of the same deal. This really is more about, I'd probably say, having heroes that have high blessings. It's probably your best bet. They do more damage. They take less damage. So really, I would just use whoever your highest team members are to kill the boss quickly. Maybe defense if you need it, but I'm going to put her in the lead for speed. We'll use all these guys because they have high blessings. Do we need healing from him and revive? I don't think we're going to need it for the low end. So let's just do that, and we'll bring in him. We'll bring in my boy. I like him. Now, the reason I have Bogwalker in here is because he usually becomes the target. All right? He's a target-heavy hero, and he also can do a ton of... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think it was going to really matter. He's probably going to die in 3 seconds anyway. We don't really need to worry about it. Look at that. Ooh, that was like 100K out of freaking Thurgist. Boom, look at that. One hit from my Twin Claw. Let's go to stage 5. I was like, let's go to stage 5 on that. I want to actually see them do it. I don't want you guys to have a quick Shogun fight because I don't come in here often. So when I do, boom, look at that. 100, oh my God, 154K at a Twin Claw Disciple. Yeah, holy crap. So yeah, look at that. All right, so I forgot how easy the low levels of this are. I feel bad that I went in there. It gets hard real quick. Let's go to stage 10 and just see what happens. Stage 10. Let's see how hard stage 10 is with this team because they seem to be pretty beastly. Wow, 120. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Twin Claw Disciple in action in a fight in a long time. So this is really funny to me. Look at that. Jesus. I didn't think he was going to do that much damage. I was joking. I was like, "Oh, this is fine." You get three for the price of one since you just sat through a long ass spider fight. Look at that. All these murders. All right, Shogun, stage 10, down. So really this fight is all about whoever has the best blessings. At least early on. It gets obviously a lot harder. Um, But yeah, even these random ass heroes that nobody uses, like Thurgist and Twinclaw and Bogwalker, like even these heroes can get you through fights eventually. So any hero you level is going to be useful at some point. All right, whether they're useful all the time or they're only useful for one little thing that you do, you're always going to be like when you get into a fight that you don't understand or a new content comes out and you're like, what do I do here? Having as many heroes as possible eventually is literally the best way through things because you never know when that one hero, like a Twin Claw Disciple, might come in handy. You're like, oh, I have a 5-star blessing on him, maybe, and you're in a fight like this where the blessing actually matters. That could be the reason you win. As you just saw him doing 150,000 damage. I'm still shocked by that. I've never seen him do that. Then again, I don't really bring him out that often, and we've gotten a lot stronger since we moved along. All right, well, there you go. All right, so let's see. Anything else in here? Dungeons that we need to worry about. So we showed potion keeps, we showed Minotaur, Ice Golem, Spider, Dragon, Fire Knight, a Sand Devil, Phantom. They're all the same basically. If you just want to get through the beginning of the game, Doom Tower, you can use my starting five. We're not going to go through that all right now, but you can use the starting five team that I have a video for under bonus videos. And most of you have probably seen it. It's probably the reason you watch my videos. It's because you saw that video. It's my best. It's my best video out there right now, like 30,000 views or some crazy stuff. But yeah, you can go into Doom Tower and use the starting five. Curse City, basically every rare in here is useful. I'd show you, but I don't have any keys. You just use whatever rares you got, and you can get through a lot of this stuff. We used Twin Claw to get through some of the fights in there, which is pretty fun. Clan Boss, early game, you're going to only have rares. I use my keys here as well, but you can use a full rare team, basically Kale, who's good? Kale, Valerie, Spirit Host is okay. Apothecary is great. I still use him now. Uh, all the poisoners you saw before, Petrify, Grave Chill. There's tons of heroes in there. War Maiden is good early game, so you can use any of them you want. Same thing with Hydra. You can do a reasonable amount of damage in Hydra. I forgot I didn't use many of my key. Actually, no, I did use a key. Yeah, we did 7 million damage. So we already got our win on this, so we can mess with it. We'll just do a Hydra fight for funsies. Now, unfortunately, the heroes I would use are down, but if I was going to try and do a team that just gets raw damage quickly, like and just dies, um, it would probably be, I would say, this team. Let's see, do we have a speed up hero? I think we do actually. It doesn't, you know what? It's not even going to matter. We're not going to do that. So we'll bring in any of our damage dealers that can do a ton of damage. And if we really care, we can bring Myrmidon in. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. We don't need him, but whatever. I would actually just bring another damage dealer in and just try to get a million damage real quick and then walk away. Like this is basically for when you just have nothing else better and you're good. So you just want to do some raw damage quickly. You can do that. Who would have thought Myrmidon would be the one I bring in here, right? Sometimes I just bring random teams in and on these videos, and that's how I figure things out because I'm like, oh, look, I just brought a stupid team in here and I saw something cool that I did. 500K. Let's see if they kill my heroes. We want a million. That's all we want out of this. This is basically so that we can get the damage we need. See, now that's a problem. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have brought Myrmidon in for that. Let's do a restart. Free regroup. Let's take Myrmidon out. We don't need him. He's good. She's not going to be that great for this. I don't really like her in there. So we're going to bring her, and we're going to bring Who can I bring that's... we'll bring her for damage. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see if there's a difference. We want to go fast. Actually, I would normally bring in Spirit Host for this because she does attack up. That's probably the best option here, but all right, so we're already a little bit ahead of where we were before, I think. Like I said, the goal here is really just to use a bunch of throwaway heroes to get 1 million damage quickly, if possible. Which I don't know if we can get with this exact rotation because that main hit where he hits everybody may not work here. Like right now, we're about to get killed, and this is where that's where Spirit Host would have been very helpful. Well, either way, we got 500,000 damage, right? That's basically, like I said, these are my throwaway teams. We just do this for when we want some extra damage. Maybe Bogwalker. Maybe we'll try him. You know what we'll do? She has attack up, right? Because these guys are good. Let me see something real quick. Because I really want you guys to see a nice team. You know what? Let's try Iterant. Just for fun. Just for funsies. Let's see what happens. I'm curious myself. Sometimes you just got to throw some teams together and see what happens. Throw some dirt and see if it hits the wall. See, now we've got attack up. So that's going to help a little bit. Too bad it didn't go off before Kale attacked. But now they're going to steal my buffs. Iterant didn't even go yet. That's how slow he is, comparatively. He didn't get provoked, though, so that's nice. Wow, they actually survived that. Oh, that's right, because we have defense up now. I forgot. All right, so that's interesting. Oh, there goes my boy. Pig boy down. Yeah, I'd probably do a little more planning on this one. This is one of those things where I'd say, this is probably honestly, how your fights are going to go in the early game. I wouldn't be surprised because this is how my fights went. I was like, oh, I can't even do a 500,000 damage. And that's kind of what I did. You're going to need more. I just wanted to try and do the fact that we have this rotation where this guy has that poison cloud just makes it not the point. I don't know if it's the poison cloud, whatever one that attacks everybody and kills everyone, like you just saw. It's kind of a tough area. You need some specific stuff like provokes and things like that. So in that respect, I would say someone like even he might be useful in here. She's good for the defense up. I mean, who could do something in here that's remotely good? I mean, he's got HP burns. He's got burns. We could put him in here. The defense down. Pig Boy doesn't seem to help here too much, so I don't think he's even worth bringing in. I would say debuffs would probably be your best bet. Some accuracy, maybe. Let's see if that does it. Let's see if the HP burn from Coffin Smasher will get us to that 1 million. Now we're doing a little more of a planned thing. So there we go. We got HP burn, but they're probably going to remove it, which sucks. All right, so we got the HP burn off there, so that's good. That burn alone, that one burn is like more than enough to kind of do some reasonable damage. It's kind of funny how one burn can change things. Look at that. It's already better with the one burn. And then, so we're gonna get another one? No, we did not get another one. Oh, I was hoping we got a decreased tax. That's good. That would have been nice. Okay, so there we go. We got hit with that stupid thing and we survived. Coffin Smasher, please don't die. I'm hoping he doesn't die. All right, so we're already doing better. So this is good. Like I said, we just want 1 million out of this. We don't want anything crazy. We don't want any crazy stuff. We have the HP burn going. And he removed it, so that's bad. I was hoping we'd get something closer. But hey, this isn't bad. I'll take it. It's enough to kind of, move you up at least in the beginning. I don't do these teams. Like I said, they don't work. I want you guys to know they don't work. But I mean, you're still doing reasonable damage comparative. These are heroes I used to throw in here and be like, oh, we'll just try this out and see what happens. Let's see if Thurgis can do some damage here. What's Thurgis good at? She's gonna do attack up probably. Yeah, I knew she was gonna do something dumb. She's basically just winding the clock down. So yeah, you could just bring in a bunch of HP burners. There's an orc that has HP burn. I don't have her built, but you can bring them in and just burn the boss. But hey, 814, I'll take it. I'm gonna keep it because I don't care because we already got our box from our main team. See, I mean, yeah, either way, you can use them. Figured I'd do a little bonus stuff and just mess around in there, have some fun. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, I just wanted to kind of show you guys some stuff and what rares are capable of. Things you can have, you can do. Hydra is obviously an end game thing. It's a little bit harder to do with rares. You can do it with rares. There's some voids that are really good with it, and you have to play with it a little bit more. Um, Maybe I'll do a whole video on just rares and Hydra. Maybe we'll just mess around with some teams and see who does the most damage. Because I don't have Spirit Host. Spirit Host is one of the because I already used her for my main team. If I had Spirit Host in that team, they would have done a million easy. Uh, she's just that good. It's crazy how good she is. She removes all that crap. She does the attack up right away because she's fast and her speed is insane. And we can do a ton more damage because she basically makes everyone do 50% more damage. So even those fights you just saw that were like 500,000, more than likely would have ended somewhere around 7 or 800, and then the 700 or 800,000 one would have more than likely lasted to like a 1.2 or 1.5. So yeah, if I had Spirit Host, it would have been better. I apologize that I don't because I used her. All right, so yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave your questions. I'm fine with that. Like, share, subscribe. It's always good for the channel. You help the channel grow, and we do a live show every single week, probably in the middle of the week this week. So yeah, let me know if you guys are if you have any questions. So this is fun with rares and what they can do and how much fun you can have with rares. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and you guys take care.